Hallo und herzlich willkommen zu einer neuen Folge Let's Play NBA 2K18. Und bevor wir gleich zum letzten Spiel vor den All-Star Games kommen, nämlich gegen die Boston Celtics, davon haben wir für euch diese Folge die erste Halbzeit, gehen wir erst nochmal zum Brian. Der hat mir eine SMS geschrieben, dass er mir jemanden vorstellen will. Und wir wollen natürlich nicht verpassen, wer das ist. Ich wünsche euch auf jeden Fall schon mal ganz viel Spaß beim Spiel, denn ich werde bei Brian die Klappe halten und wir hören uns zur Halbzeitanalyse wieder. Bis gleich.
PG-13, man.
Yo,
what's
up,
good,
man?
baby?
Who are you?
I'm DJ.
You the up-and-coming cat Brian was
Oh,
talking
yeah, you
about.
better believe it, bro.
Your
You
game
better
like that?
Hey, man, I'm a huge fan of yours. Hey, but bro, those shoes.
Yeah, the PG
fire,
was right
man.
there.
Look, man, I'm trying to get on your level, man.
You keep working, you'll be the next one to have your own sneakers.
Trying to put some headphones, maybe some turntables
Some
on the side.
turntables,
You
huh?
feel me?
Hey, don't get cross, because we ain't trying to hear that. You know what I mean?
You got jokes,
I got
man.
a couple.
Hey, so, I'm trying to go fishing with you, bro.
Let's go, man. Hey, we'll just have a fellas trip. No phones, no nothing. Me and you on the lake.
Word?
Vibe out.
All right, man. That sounds good. That's a bet, bro.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going
Good
to see
seeing
you.
Hey guys, Mike Wang here, gameplay director for the NBA 2K series. Andre Drummond has made some headlines this season for his improvement on the foul line, but his 88 overall rating is thanks to his skills as a big man in the NBA. Let's take a look at some of those skills that you can apply to your Mike career. As a big man modeled after Andre Drummond, you have to look at two major areas, rebounding and defense. On the rebounding end, you need to make sure you are boxing out by holding the intense D trigger. Right as the shot goes up, hit the trigger and find a body. Doing this will help your teammate grade regardless if you get the rebound or not. Drummond has the Hall of Fame Putback King badge. To go after this badge in my career, you need to try and go right back up with a shot after getting an offensive board. Positioning and quick reflexes are your friends here, but remember, you can also do training drills in the practice facility to help progress this badge too.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Happy Valentine's Day. The chocolates have been eaten by Shaq, and the gift exchange is over.
By Kenny.
And thanks for the flowers, by the way.
You're welcome.
That was really nice. Ernie Johnson
You're my
alongside
Valentine.
Shaq and Kenny the Jet Smith. What's this?
My rose.
Oh, man, that's really. I'm going to hand that right over here.
Oh, you're my Valentine. Ernie.
You're, be mine. Tonight, we'll see the Los Angeles Clippers as they play against the Boston Celtics in Boston. Taking a look at the Celtics, we've kind of waited and waited for this team to come together and start producing, but it just hasn't happened. And now we've gotten pretty deep into the season, so time's not on their side. And guys, we'll see DeAndre Jordan tonight. And although he's improved his free throw shooting, there's always a chance we could see the hack of Jordan come into play. A big fella, I hesitate to go there, but I know you have something to say about this. And do you think the NBA should change the rules to prevent that tactic from being used?
Three answers, Ernie. No, no, and no. It didn't change it for me. It's part of the game. And as a player, you got to persevere and step up and hit them when you need to hit them. And you always know my motto, Ernie.
What's that?
I hit them when I need to hit them.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, NBA took steps last year to cut it down last season. But I don't know if that's the right direction. I agree with Shaq.
Kenny.
I think you're in the game. It's part of the game. You got to hit them when they hit them.
All right.
And down the stretch, 4 championships later, here's this man hit him.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kenny.
Yeah, that was very nice of you. Very nice of
Could
you.
have been 5 if he would have hit him against
Oh,
us.
yeah, if you hit it enough, yeah.
Should have been 6. No, that wasn't me. That was Nick Anderson.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
come on now. Come on.
Let's
I
go
ain't no
to break.
calm down.
Let's go
No
to
need,
break.
no
was
need
Nick
to go
Anderson.
there.
No
Come
need to
on.
go there.
That's not me. It's history. Google it. 94, 95.
Thanks for
Magic
joining
versus
us.
Rockets. Google it. What happened?
K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down.
And thank you for joining us for this Valentine's Day presentation of the NBA. It's a matchup you're gonna love, right here on 2K Sports. With Greg Anthony, Chris Webber, and David Aldridge, Kevin Harlan. And we have a surprise guest, folks. There he is, the four-time All-NBA First-Teamer, MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, NBA champion, which is probably most happy about, most proud of, Kevin Garnett. Thanks so much for joining us for the game.
Thank you for having me, man. Shout to 2K, you know what it is, 2K? Right. OBF all day, you know, yeah.
You can't play 2K while we're doing 2K.
No, we can't play it right now, but I'm waiting. Shout to Shaq on this cover. Shout to my dog, Shaq. That's dope. That's what's up. I'm Gas Shaq is on there. Right. Love that. That's what's up. These are deserving, man. That's what's up.
We're live from Boston. It's the home of the Celtics. There's no question this game will put them to the test. Facing off against a team that has every expectation of beating them, they'll need to play a complete game to snare a win.
And it's the last time they'll see these guys. A two-game season series, and after losing that first one, I'd expect them to play with a little extra added motivation.
Well, they better, because you always want to avoid the sweep. No matter what kind it is, it's still an embarrassment.
And let's go straight over to David Aldridge for a report before the tip-off. Hey, Dave.
Hey, Kevin. Now, we know the NBA is a tight-knit fraternity, and DJ has established himself among the other players. He's become friends with a lot of guys around the league, bonding through their shared love of music. DJ told me very few people in the world go through what we go through, so it's easy to bond with all the guys. Now, with that said, DJ mentioned it is still all business once the ball goes up. Kevin, back to you.
And what DJ said about the shared experience is spot on. Only players and former players know just what it is like to deal with the pressure, the travel, and other factors of being an NBA player.
Kevin, you were always known as wanting to play and always wanting to practice. You're a gym rat. What did you do when a coach would ask you maybe to take a breather? Let's sit out this game. Let's rest up. Would you welcome that? Would you just say, I'll let you know when I can't go? Or how would you handle that situation?
You know what? I've always asked the coach to respect the way I get ready for games. I've always asked him to respect the way I approach the game. I've always asked the coach to respect me and my expertise in knowing my body. I'm very, very vocal. Listen, if one person needs rest, and it's me, I know how to raise my hand. I know how to say I need some rest. But, you know, I'm a person who likes to push through a lot of things. I'm a person who understands rest, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, I'm a person who understands that practice makes perfect. And if I can work on something for as long as I can to make something better, because I know at the end when I need it, especially when I used to call it dial up. When I call, I need the answer.
Here are the starters for Los Angeles. The heart of the team at the 4 and the 5, Griffin and Jordan. EJ out there with Austin Rivers, and it's Gallinari in at the 3 spot.
Well, I like that he shows no hesitation there.
Yeah, while he's taking off, no one on the other side reacts. They give up the easy balls.
So it's Boston now, after the basket by Los Angeles. Outside Irving, from past the arc. The basket good off the assist from Hayward. Irving's got a pair of threes now in the first quarter for Boston. For Los Angeles, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Kevin, when you entered the draft, no player had made the jump from high school to the NBA in 20 years. And what were your emotions when your name was called number 5 overall?
Oh, man, I remember that. It was
17 years old.
17, just turning 18 at the time. I was in like a whirlwind, to be honest. A lot of people don't know it's a lot of stuff that goes up into the draft. You know, things that I wasn't aware of. You're training twice a day. You're trying to get ready for the combine. You're trying to get ready for pre-draft. You got to do workouts. This is all new to me. On top of still going to high school, trying to, you know, graduate and stuff. So I figured it out. I hustled and I bustled and I juggled a bunch.
Wow. And that sort of showmanship is just deflating right now to a team trying to get back into a game like this.
Ouch, Greg, that is definitely an emphasis jam. A big apostrophe or exclamation point, maybe even a question mark. Kevin, one of the biggest moments of your career, the 2008 championship with the Boston Celtics. Talk about the camaraderie among that group of players.
You know, Kev, I could tell right away that we had something special getting together right in September, right before the year started. We started working out together. We started sharing concepts and how we saw the game. Right away, I could tell that the appetite was there. 1 through 15 guys. It's very rare that you're able to get that many guys in that early. As soon as Danny, signed guys, we were in, we were lifting, we was just, around each other, understand each other, playing a lot. We was playing a lot. Then, fortunately, we was able to go off to Rome that year. Rome was a good distraction for us because we had to lean on one another.
To bond a little bit.
Seriously, because, none of us spoke Italian. If we wanted to go somewhere, we was always 3-4 deep, and no one was asking and no one was telling us to be with each other. We were just naturally being with each other so much that whenever you saw us to the restaurants, 9, 10 of us, that carried over to practice. Then we got 2 teams that are very competitive. The Doc was letting us be who we want to be, and he letting us play with passion, and our practices are over the top aggressive, and to the point where it's too competitive to where he has to come in and separates us and, take the balls and cut the lights out and get us out of here, to the point where he just lets us go. Now we start bringing concepts to him. He started trusting our IQs. Now we start putting a couple things on defense, Thibodeau's in there. He's implementing stuff. When this flow is going like this, you don't know that you're going to win it all, but you know you're on the waves of something special, and that's how that felt.
Billy's the long-range jumper.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
And the Clippers decide to take their first time out here. They're coming off that win against the Nets.
I tell you what, how efficient they were at scoring the basketball, especially for an away game, that was impressive.
Good poise led to good shot selection, and that was the key to maximizing their opportunity.
And Kevin, you played for some great coaches, but is there any coach you would have been interested to work with that just didn't get a chance to? Say, Greg Popovich or Phil Jackson.
Those are great coaches. I've had very, very little time with those guys.
Maybe in all-star games and things like that.
I have. But, when you do all-star games, you let yourself go. You open up yourself to try to, be there and be present with the guys. Yes. Open up, hey, what's up? What's been up with you? How's the year for y'all? Y'all playing well. We're going to beat y'all when we see y'all, blah, blah, blah. But, you're very cordial. And, you're not talking too much about X's and O's. But you do share perspectives. You do share, philosophies. Pop is a great mind. I had a chance to sit with him a couple times. Phil's a great mind. Phil is super deep and loves the philosophy of. I haven't had a lot of time with those guys. Doc Rivers, shout out to Doc, and I know he doesn't get a lot for his philosophies, but he's very enriched with philosophies and styles and bringing teams together and trying to make sure that guys stay connected, stimulated. He would always tell us, never get bored with the process.
Wow, that's so intriguing. Interesting to hear. Connects from three-point range. DJ's got his second basket of the night. And KG, talk about how the greats can just impose their will.
It's almost like another level. Yeah. When you see LeBron, what he did to Detroit in that fourth quarter, that's a blackout. You don't know what you're doing. When you see Cole go for 81, when you see Chauncey come down on a one, these players are blacking out. These are elite players in elite moments, taking the moment. Paul Pierce is one of the best that I've ever seen grab a moment and savor it and just put it in slow-mo. And nothing speeding them up. Special players. But I get a front row seat of him. Ray Allen, the same thing. He had a great composure about himself to slow himself down and hit pressure shots. Tim Duncan, same thing.
Baines passes to Hayward. There's the screen. 5 to shoot. Nice ball movement by Boston. Smart. And the Celtics hit again from deep.
And the story here, Kevin, early on is how well they've shot the basketball.
And Kevin, there was such a whirlwind around your trade to the Celtics from the Timberwolves. What were your thoughts and emotions at that time?
You know what? Being in Minnesota at that time, it was very difficult for me. I didn't necessarily want to leave. I had a goal to bring the city a championship, and I felt like I could do that. Nothing worse than when you have to deal with the reality of change. I'm not the one for change, even though I do know in order to process or progress better, you have to embrace some change. So with the help of my friends from Chauncey Billups, Teron Lou, I sat and I thought through it with those guys who have been through the trade process and talking to me, getting me to understand my options. And once I understood all my options, then I just, it was about what was best for me and my family.
Wow, yeah, there's a lot to consider. And KG, you're retired from the game now, and you're stepping into the broadcast business a little bit now, aren't you?
Man, you see me?
You
know what? Area 21 is something that is authentic. It's me. I'm having a great time watching the games. It's really cool being a fan now. I can root for people I want to root for. I don't have to worry about preparing and who I'm a guard and I'm getting to teach. So you know what? It's a great time. It's work. It's not just you go on there and you have a bunch of fun. We actually get some things done, but we have a great time, man.
You're an actor.
Hey, Kev, listen, watching you, being around you, man, the great, rest in peace to Craig, Ernie, Charles, all these great influences, man, has definitely helped, not just me, but our younger generations of broadcasters, man. It's totally, I didn't see this being my lane, but I'm having fun with it.
Doing a great job. And KG, so great to see you. It takes me back, it really does.
A lot of people don't know, man, we got real original ties, man.
Back to the beginning.
95, man, my original man right here.
Here he was, man. You were a thrill a minute, I'll tell you that.
Man,
a thrill a minute.
Now look at us. 21 years later, dog, man, can you believe
We're still
this?
standing.
We are. They haven't caught on yet. Don't say anything.
Okay.
Just doing the job on the backboard.
The Celtics with the lead. Kevin, coming out of high school, you were relatively mature for your age, as 17 turning 18, but do you ever regret not trying college and just seeing what that experience would have been like? I mean, it's such a long time ago, but you've had some chance probably to get some perspective on both sides of that story.
You know what, Kev, I look at it like the unknown is the unknown. Obviously, I've had friends that went to college, some of my best friends went to college, and I think I've kind of lived it through them a little bit. Listen, when you have responsibility early in life,
which you did.
Which I did.
Yes.
And, so from a mature level, things that interest me are not that interesting as you get older, especially when you have to deal with a vigorous schedule of an NBA schedule. I wasn't able to, be the 17, 18-year-old, to chill, have, lean on the parents a little bit, be able to be at home, coming home through the weekends. I had a real life that I was responsible for, and I was growing something. I was building something. I was trying to not just be a young player in our league, but a young businessman wanting to establish something for myself, my friends, my family. You can't do those things thinking like a normal 17, 18-year-old. You're taking pieces from grown men around you all the time. You're around people who need something all the time. At some point, you have to put all this together. You have to make it work for you. And you have to put your spin on it for how it works for you and your brand. And you have to be innovative with that. You have to be creative with that. You have to have a vision.
Wow, yeah, there's a lot to consider. Kevin, what a lot of fans don't get to see is all the work players do behind the scenes, at home, before games, after games, on off days. Can you talk a little bit about that? Getting your body ready from the end of one game to play the next game. I mean, I've seen it, but you talk about it.
Yeah, the wellness starts right after you stop playing. The minute you come off the court, you're iced. You got to do progressions where right after the game, you shower. Obviously, you got to get massages. You got to get some type of wellness on your legs, just because you're running so much. People don't know that you have to lift weights. When we was in Boston, we lift every other day. We had a strenuous strength program. Shout out to B-Do. Brian Dew, who was our strength coach up there, never let us get a day off. And if you didn't lift weights, then we find you as a players. Players find you. Because it's important for you to come in here and be strong. We need everybody to be as strong as they can be. So you have to lift. And then actually, you practice. But after practice, you have to put time into your own personal game.
Right. So much goes into it. It's amazing. A nice shot by Jordan. Jordan's got his second bucket.
They've been sensational on the backboard to start this game.
And Kevin, you've recently gotten a chance to do more TV. Your show Area 21 has been tremendous, and the critics love it. Talk about this chapter of your career.
Well, it was something that I wasn't planning on, but, Turner brought me a great concept, and it fit the mold of what any man cave is, and that's really what it is. But the fact that we can go in, watch the games on multiple channels, see multiple games, articulate it, give it from a perspective of a player, coming fresh out of this generation of players, giving understanding to this generation of players is very important, because these players now are very different. Teaching these young players, still being mentors of these players, very important, and still loving this game. It's still a beautiful game, man. The game is growing. I'm watching these kids do all types of different stuff, man. The creativity in our game now is so heightened. So yeah, I'm having a bunch of fun, which is one thing I never forgot. The piece of advice you've always told me, man. So you continue to enjoy what you do, and it'll show. And I'm hoping that I'm making you proud of that, Kay. I'm enjoying what I'm doing, man.
You're an incredible ambassador to all of those things. The game, the fun of life. You capture a lot of the fun of life.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying. I'm enjoying it. So hopefully it shows.
A platoon swap here for the Clippers. And it's Brown missing. And people may not know, KG, that you're not just a broadcaster for 2K, but you're a member of the 2K community.
Have you been keeping up with the community, man?
Oh, yeah, very much so.
Man, listen, shout out to all the 2K players out there. I'm Jizzle Lord, y'all know what it is. I'm Jizzle Lord 5. Shout out to my OBF team, y'all know what it is. Shout out to Dex, shout out to Bug, shout out to everybody out there playing.
Wow.
Right, we definitely.
Wow.
It's all good. I'm OBF, I'm about the team. I'm gang, you know what it is. Jizzle Lord, y'all holler at me. Y'all know what it is, 2K. Right.
Outside Williams. Takes it off the glass. Williams has got the game tied up here for the Clippers.
Did anybody see any defensive presence on that play? I mean, he's not going to blow that layup. He was wide open.
Rozier kicks to Morris. Pass to Rozier. A 3-ball. Rebound by the Clippers. Last time they met was in Los Angeles.
And the last time they faced this club, rebounding was their big advantage.
Brown against Williams. Over Morris. And the Clippers getting another bucket right there.
And just enough wiggle room to get off his shot.
Well, when you're at a size disadvantage, sometimes the mid-range is better than inside. You get a little more space. You don't allow the shot blocker to get up on you, and also you can use your handles and your quickness.
From the high post. And so lots of scoring in that competitive first quarter. Clippers ahead, leading by just 2. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back in just a moment. And one of our game's most explosive dunkers, DeAndre Jordan tells us what it feels like to be DeAndre Jordan.
Jump 20 feet in the air. It's like you're flying for a quick second. And then I've learned that how good the dunk was on the reaction of my teammates.
And for a guy like DeAndre and a guy of DeAndre's size, guys, it's hard to believe how fluid he is in the air.
He's got some body torque into those jams, and just all around he seems to improve his game every year.
And we resume our Valentine's Day broadcast. Glad to have you with us. And let's quickly break down the game we've seen from the Clippers, guys.
Hustling on that offensive glass, that's led to a number of second chance points.
Well, obviously that was the game plan coming in. Be physical right off the rip.
Tatum out there with Morris. Then there's Brown. Then it's Aaron Bain. And it's Rozier in at the 1 spot. That's who's in the game for the Celtics. And the first one drops.
And Brown is just an exceptional player. Really love whenever he shows off his athletic ability.
No good on the second, so he hits 1 of 2. Regular season grind, 82 games in the regular season. In your opinion, is that the right amount of games for teams to play, or would you like to see the schedule shortened where there's more practice in between, more days of rest, more days to recuperate?
Man, look.
You got a big smile on your face.
I'm from the old school, Kev. You know, 82 games is how you got to come through it. This is, listen.
It's a war, isn't it?
It is. And you know what? This is the tradition of it, man. This is what it is, bro. If you don't want to go through this and go through this hall and this road of this journey, then cool. Go to another league. They got shorter games. They got other awards that you can, you know. This is the NBA. This is what it is. This is the grind of it. And ones that have come before you have done it, just like the ones that's after you is going to do it. This is what it is, bro.
Morris outside. Good on the three-point shot. Morris has got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Kevin, we see some coaches get extremely emotional on the sideline. Others take a more even-keeled approach, more calm on the sideline. Which coaching style would you prefer to play for when you were in your prime? Did you want a coach who was animated, or did you want a coach that was just kind of settled on the sideline?
You know what? I like the coach that was settled on the sideline. You know, I like to think that great coaches are going to be able to coach you in practice, and then during the games, you know, it's about the product and what you put out on the floor. You know, coaches that have understanding, coaches that have vision, coaches that understand the game, understand that this is a game of runs, know that it's a game of momentum, and has plays for those momentums and those times. Are coaches that I've always gravitated to and understood that
like Doc was kind of in between, wasn't he? A little bit of emotion, but he could also have a calm demeanor on that side.
Doc was on fire, I'm sorry. There was nothing calming about Doc.
I'm trying to cover Doc's back here.
No, shout out to Doc. Doc would rip your head off if you wasn't supposed to. But you know what? You need to play with that edge. You needed to know that if you wasn't in your spot, 1 through 15, you understood that you were supposed to be there. And it's good to play with that. I think that you don't want to be out there playing like, this is no big deal. Every play is a big deal. And no play, absolutely. And you know what? That severity, and you play with that importance, and knowing that you're playing for the next guy. So that's important.
And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. Kevin, with intentional fouling, with poor free throw shooters being sent to the line currently, the hack of Drummond, hack of Shaq, all this stuff, hack of DeAndre Jordan. Yeah. What are your thoughts on all that?
You know what? I like it. You know what it's going to do? It's
part of the strategy?
It's going to put the strategy, and this is part of it. And you know what you got to do? It's going to make all those guys you just named work on their free throw. Mm-hmm. Because if any advantage that you have in the game, coaches are going to expose it. Coaches are going to expose all weak points, as they should, as any sport, and as any great is going to expose any weaknesses in defenses. He's going to look to expose those things. So this is one of the things that dictates the game, and these guys are going to have to be better. It's going to push them. It's going to make them better players.
And the Clippers making a change here. Teodosa just checked in. No good at the stripe this time. Second misses also. Kevin, especially back in Minnesota, you have some Hall of Fame battles with a guy named Tim Duncan. Talk about what those games, what those matchups were like.
Tim is very crafty, man. Our battles used to just, especially as young guys, man. Young guys trying to establish themselves in a gritty league at the time, full of some older, dominant names at the time, Michael Jordan, Elijah Malone. In a time where the forward position was a very, very tough position. Timmy was one of them ones, man. Used angles very well, was very long. Had a lot of counters, very strong, and had an inner beast that people really didn't really talk about because you didn't really necessarily hear or see it. But man, he was one of the best, man. It's not by coincidence. He's one of the ones.
And they have built their advantage on the scoreboard here by doing all the little things.
Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Kevin, growing up watching the game of basketball, who were some of your earliest influences?
My early influences in the game of basketball was Magic Johnson, obviously Michael Jordan, and then Chris Webber. Chris Webber, Malik City was kind of like the younger generation of my inspiration. Yeah. St. John's was one of the destinations. Michigan was one of my college destinations. So those guys were my natural inspirations early on when I was young.
Now here's Tatum. He's guarded by Williams. Step back and squared up. And now it's only a 5-point Los Angeles lead. And Kevin, welcome to the 2K team. I didn't realize how much you love NBA 2K.
Oh, man, you know 2K is always loud, man. I'm a super fan. Man, this game is going all over the place, bro. Like, seriously, like, I'm geeked to see what's next, man. They got everything down. I'm sitting here watching all the little small intangibles that come with the game. I'm watching the game grow. I'm watching how better players are getting. I'm watching the online play, man. It's lit. It's lit. I can't wait to see this.
Back to Beverly. A floater. Beverly tipped back in for 2. Beverly's got 5 points so far.
Hard work and soft hands, guys. That's what made that play possible.
No simple offensive rebound there. Going for the tip in. The screen from Brown. The Celtics working the ball around now. Kevin, of all the people you've faced, who is the toughest guy for you to score against down low? Let's pick that geography. Who is the toughest to score against down there?
Listen, I know a lot of people. I've always said Rasheed Wallace. I've always said Tim Duncan. They're probably the two that brought a different level of play out of me. But shout out to Cliff Robinson, man. Cliff Robinson, I don't know if people know this, but Cliff Robinson, man. Cliff Robinson was one of the better defenders in the post. He was very strong. He was very long. He didn't go for any counters. He was very disciplined. He was well prepared because he was a veteran. The refs let him get away with a lot, touching and grabbing. He knew when to be physical in some positions. He knew to do what we call work early. He would meet you at the three-point line, and he would be fighting you, and you would post up probably like a step outside the three-point line. He was really good at some of his techniques and how he was able to control the post. After Cliff left the game, I watched a lot of his tape, and I took a lot of his I had to, because it was so effective against me that I was able to use it against other post players on the defensive end.
I never knew that story.
Dennis Rodman was another guy I watched a lot. Akeem Olajuwon I watched a lot, because these guys were laterally very similar to my makeup. Akeem Olajuwon was long. He was able to laterally move with you. I was laterally able to move with guards and able to laterally slide with some of the forwards and some of the more laterally gifted power forwards. And with that, able to get my feet together, being able to block shots, challenge the rim, stuff like that. Things that, if you're going to get better at something, you got to go and reach and find the great ones that did it before you and take it, and then I was able to apply it, and I did those things.
Kevin, we've all seen the evolution of the perimeter style offense. Do you think it'll ever go so far that we'll see the game come back to an inside-oriented offensive scheme?
I think right now that with pace being the way it is now, Kev, I don't see it necessarily going through or going back to playing through the post. Although you have to have an alternative. I think that you just can't be all three-pointers and layups. I think you have to have a constant flow of inside-outside. I think it helps to have a post player. I think having a post player or a true post player that can score and dominate the middle opens up threes and opens up ball movement.
You played during the transition too, didn't you? From a grinded out type of game inside to spacing that we had now.
I did, and I'd like to say that Doc Rivers started the small ball, and we were very, very keen on the small ball. So I think in today's game, you got to be able to shoot the three now and be able to handle the ball and put the ball on the floor and make decisions. So it shows that the game is transformed.
For the fans out there watching this, Kev, can you talk about why it's so incredibly difficult to win an NBA title, to become a champion? Why is it such a tough process?
Well, just imagine having a goal and you're not pursuing the goal by yourself. Say you and somebody else.
Relying on somebody else.
Relying on somebody else, okay? So let's just say you and someone are doing something, walking up a hill. Y'all getting ready to go walk up a hill. Well, the speed in which you want to walk at might be different from the other person. And what you realize about when you're trying to reach any goal is that you have to be connected. You have to be understanding of, we're going to walk up here together like at this speed, like this, or we're going fast, we're going slow. It has to be a great level of communication and understanding. At the same time, you have to have the same work ethic, because you have to understand that you're together. And you don't get to go at this level and leave someone behind. You have to actually, you got to pull them, you got to keep up, whatever it is. All this goes into trying to win.
It sure does. That's right. Williams for three. Kept alive. Hero. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot two. It goes on Jason Tatum. Los Angeles shooting their first free throws of the evening. He misses the free throw. Kevin, when you played, we all know how intense you were, how much you cared. That, to me, was the thing that really, you cared so much about the product, about your team, about the game. But some people have said that maybe there was a streak of you that was mean is maybe not the right word, but you were overly aggressive. But I don't know how you could have played any differently.
I call it dialed in.
What?
You know, I like to think that if you're trying to accomplish something, then, you know, I only know one way to accomplish something. You go at it with everything you have.
Yes.
You go to dominate it and take it over. You don't go at something lightly.
Can't walk through the park with this game,
not at all. Not at all. And this game is full of talented elites. Night in, night out, you're playing someone that can typically go for 50 easy.
So true. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, DJ in the last matchup against the Nets made a big difference. He ended up with 19 points, and the basket must have looked huge to him. He made 3 after 3 to pile up the points. His output helped his team stay hot. They're playing great, unselfish basketball right now. See if they can keep it up tonight. Kevin?
Hey, David, thank you very much. What kind of carryover guys you think we'll see for him tonight?
Well, we know his confidence level has to be high coming into this game. Physically, he might be a little worn down, but mentally, he's got to be feeling very good.
Well, and worn down or not, I'm sure he'll be a big factor here tonight. His presence is so valuable.
For 3, Hayward. Good, and the assist goes to Irving. And it's 13 points for Gordon Hayward.
It's first triple of the second quarter, third of the game.
Picked by Harrell. And Gallinari kicks to DJ. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline.
He's tried to get it going, but the shots simply have not been there. Nothing seems to be falling.
And it's Irving missing.
He may have missed it, but that's a clean look at the basket.
KG, I know you can't stay any longer. You've got to move on, but we appreciate your time, and it's always great to see you.
Kev, anytime, man. It's great to see you, man. Anytime you need me, you let me know, man. I'm yours.
Former MVP, Defensive Player of the Year and champion, Kevin Garnett. What a treat it is, Greg, to have KG with us. Always offers so much insight. Played the game for an amazing 21 seasons.
Yeah, you know, when he first entered the league, everybody was wowed by the athleticism. But what became more apparent really early on were the instincts for which he had for the game. And that's what he brings, I feel like, to the broadcast.
Whistle on the play. Bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
It was all about his athleticism when Griffin first came into the league, but it didn't take long to see he was about a lot more than that. He's got serious skills down low.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight.
And high-quality numbers for him all season long. How about 81 from the line?
Jordan, he's checked in for the Clippers. That one misses.
You know, so many people were surprised at the Kyrie Irving trade, but throughout the decades, Boston's been unafraid to pull the trigger. I mean, they moved up to number 2 to draft the great Bill Russell, moving back to number 3 to draft McHale, add Parrish, assembling the big 3 for a championship, then dismantling that big 3 for all those unprotected picks. This is an organization that stops at nothing to try and win titles.
11 seconds left in the first half. Larkin kicks to Irving. And Jordan sends it back.
And the one thing we know about DeAndre, he's a presence at both ends of the floor. He protects the rim on D just as much as he punishes it at the offensive end.
In a pretty tightly contested game here as we end the first half. Clippers lead by 5. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Und zu David kommen wir wie immer natürlich morgen erst, denn für heute ist diese Folge jetzt beendet. Ist ja eine spannende erste Hälfte gewesen. Aber bis auf die 2 Turnovers bin ich mit meiner Leistung eigentlich auch echt zufrieden. 18 Punkte, das ist schon richtig gut, zumal ich ja im zweiten Viertel nur relativ wenig Einsatzzeit hatte. Also im ersten Viertel schon 15 Punkte. Dazu kamen 3 Rebounds und 2 Assists. Ist doch ganz ordentlich. Meine Trefferquote, da sprechen wir nicht drüber, das muss einfach noch deutlich besser werden. Aber ansonsten wirklich ein ordentliches Spiel und vor allem auch spannend. Das wird eine spannende zweite Hälfte, die seht ihr morgen. Wenn euch das Video gefallen hat, lasst einen Daumen hoch da. Ihr dürft auch sehr gerne kommentieren. Und wenn ihr uns noch nicht abonniert habt, dann abonniert uns doch einfach. Vergesst aber nicht, die kleine Glocke neben dem Abonnieren-Button zu drücken. Denn nur dann bekommt ihr alles mit. Und sorry für meine bisschen belegte Stimme. Ich bin ziemlich erkältet. Aber ihr wisst ja, zocken geht immer. Also von daher fallen die Videos nicht aus. Für heute war es das. Wenn euch NBA 2K18 gefällt, dann schaut mal in die Videobeschreibung. Da gibt es einen Link, wo ihr das Spiel besonders günstig kaufen könnt. Ansonsten könnt ihr im Abspann jetzt auf die linke Seite des Bildschirms klicken für Tipps aus dem Kanal, auf die rechte Seite für die komplette NBA 2K18 Playlist und in der Mitte, da könnt ihr uns abonnieren. Und damit sage ich Tschüss und macht's gut. Bis morgen.